I have to get my neighbors to move their boat. It's right in the way of the sunrise, which really isn't an issue. I'm just kidding because sunrise, it's an amazing thing because at certain times of the year, it's way down the river right behind their boat. And then by the middle of the summer, it's all the way over on the other side of the river. It's quite amazing how it moves. So I'm testing out something today. I'm actually trying to use an external mic. I am the most technologically idiot person. I can't figure this out to save my life. Um, but anyway, so I'll probably halfway through I'm going to actually take it off so that I can probably hear the differences and if there even is a difference or even if it's connected. For all I know, you can't even hear me right now. But it is a beautiful morning. I mean, the water, actually, when I first came out here, it was completely still. There wasn't even a ripple. You would have never guessed it was a river. But either a breeze came up or a boat went by. Something happened. And now there's a little bit of a ripple. Either way, it's beautiful. I'm going to pull this thing out and hopefully we'll see what the difference is. I don't know. Maybe nothing. There it goes. And I'm going to turn around and say hello too. Oh, hello. I'm really up close. Anyways, good morning. I'm glad to see you guys here. And I'm actually going to talk a little bit about constructive criticism, which nobody likes criticism, right? I mean, criticism's a pain. It's horrible. It feels, well, it feels a little bit sometimes like a slap in the face. Like, hey, I'm doing my best and you're going to tell me I'm not doing a good job? That doesn't feel well at all. But one of the things I do is I teach classes to companies and education groups, and one of the topics that I talk about frequently and that it's constantly requested is how to give and receive constructive criticism. And it happened to me this week, and it really made me start thinking about it. Like, you teach something, but what does it feel like to actually receive it? So I'm going to turn this around so you can watch the sunrise, and then we'll talk about it. So I was in a call. I'm actually in the process of writing a book, and I'm almost done. And I was talking to somebody about, he was a consultant who was going to help me with some of the images. And he, at the end of the call, said, and he hesitated. I mean, he kind of was like, would you mind a little bit of constructive criticism? And the fact that he paused and thought about it for a little bit made me think, God, this is really hard for him to give. And probably because it's not usually well received. People don't like to get criticism. It hurts, especially when you're trying your best. But I was like, yes, I would love to have it, right? Because people are so unwilling usually to give it. But wow, what a gift it is when someone sticks their arm out and says, hey, I'd like to risk you being angry with me or upset with me because I want you to do better. And when I teach it in this class, one of the things that I always tell people is that most people aren't good at giving it, right? So it's our job to wrap it in pretty paper and receive it as a gift, even if it doesn't look like one. Kind of like when your 2-year-old wraps you a gift and it looks terrible, but you're like, wow, you did such a great job wrapping this. Same idea. Because it really is difficult to give criticism, even if it looks like it, maybe it's not. And this is how I always tell people, this is the difference, is if somebody says to you, you have reached all the potential that you've got. There's nothing more I expect from you. You probably can't do any better than what you're doing currently. Versus when somebody says to you, you're doing really well, but I see so much more potential in you and I know you can do better. And here's some ways that I think you could achieve that goal, right? That's what somebody's saying when they give you constructive criticism, even if it doesn't feel like it. And so I'm telling you this. At the same time, I'm telling you also that when I received it myself this week, I was a little bit like, ooh, all right, okay. I had to take a step back and rewrap that criticism in a pretty paper. And he did actually give it to me in a very nice, clear way that was well done. And it still hurt a little, right? But I still had to understand that it was a gift. It was something he was giving me. It's because he believed in me and he saw more potential in me. And it's just kind of a way of rephrasing and looking at things when people look at you and tell you something that you're not doing right. And to be fair, some people are just jerks. They're not giving you constructive criticism. They're just jerks. But, you know, most times that's not true. I said at the beginning of this video, if you weren't on here, that I really need to get my neighbors to move their boat because the sunrise is directly behind their boat. And it is. It is exactly right in the middle of their boat today. But by next week, it'll be further to the left. It just moves down the river as the year goes by. So we are getting a sunrise right over top of a boat. It's glowing. Well, it's a beautiful day. Birds are singing. You can hear some boats humming. And the waves are lapping. And if you could smell the air right now, I really encourage you to go outside and smell it. It's got that fall smell to it. I don't know how to describe it, but it's the cold air setting in and the warm air leaving. It's nice. Nice. Well, folks, make it a good day. It's up to us to make it the best that it can be. And I will see you guys next Tuesday. Thanks for joining me. As always, love seeing you guys. Love seeing you pop up. And I so very much appreciate you getting me down here to enjoy this morning, because I would never take the time to do this otherwise. So, thank you. Good morning, guys. I'll see you soon.